Oh, let me tell you something. Busting makes me feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate the movies.
Ow!
I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, my friend and K-Rock DJ, Megan Holiday.
What's up, dude?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. We were talking just now outside about we are fans of float tanks, sensory deprivation tanks, and Megan just started going to one.
Yeah, it was my first time going last night because it's just been crazy times, and I just felt like I needed to reset, and my friend suggested that we do it, and I'd been wanting to, so I had a really positive experience with it.
I'm glad you had a positive experience yesterday because I had a very negative experience yesterday watching this movie that you've chosen to talk about, Suicide Squad.
I know. I was racking my brain, and what I was trying to do was I was trying to think about movies that I had paid for, that I went to the movies, and I just was like pissed that I had paid to go to the movie.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Okay.
And this was one where I was just like so mad when I was in the theaters.
And you paid and you stayed for the whole movie?
I did stay. I was like, you know what? I'm already invested in it. And the other thing that's really lame is I went on the radio, and I was like, okay, guys, like Suicide Squad's out, like. Is it good? Give me a call. Tell me if I should go or not. And most people said that it was worth seeing, which really just freaks me out.
Okay, yeah, you got to get a different kind of audience base on your show, Megan. Come on, this movie is bad.
It's so bad.
I had never watched it before, and you told me that this was going to be your pick, and I was genuinely upset.
Yeah, like you had purposefully not seen the movie, right?
Right. I tried watching it. It was a little while after it come out. It was on HBO Go, I think. And I tried watching it, and I got maybe 10 minutes in. I got to right around when Harley Quinn shows up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, this is not a good movie.
Yep.
This is basically a playlist of cliches and terrible characters and awful writing.
I mean, like, what is the plot of the fucking movie?
Well, let's talk about the plot of the fucking movie.
Okay.
Suicide Squad, if you have not seen it, first of all, I applaud you. Good job for you for not seeing Suicide Squad. This movie is garbage. It's a 2016 American superhero film, sort of, based on the DC Comics supervillain team of the same name, distributed by Warner Brothers. I don't know why I'm including who it's distributed by. Basically, it's a movie, a secret government agency led by Amanda Waller recruits imprisoned supervillains to execute dangerous Black Ops missions and save the world from a powerful threat in exchange for reduced sentences.
Yeah. But it goes off into so many other like plots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's too much going on in this movie.
Way
just
too much.
As a baseline level.
Yes.
Like, what were you thinking when you saw the movie in theaters? What was the first point where you felt, this is not worth the money that I spent?
They took like 20 minutes in the very beginning just to like introduce the characters. And I feel like if you have to introduce characters like that they're probably not going to be making that strong of an impact on you when you're watching the film. You know what I mean? And then I think it was like when it started to like get to the Enchantress part where she was like switching into Enchantress and she's like slithering around.
Right.
And like, she's able to fucking go to Iran and grab the file to bring the secret weapons file, and she brings that back. But yet she's unable to steal the heart that the Viola Davis character, how she has like her heart in that little thing.
in the weird like nuclear football codes kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like she can't steal that, but I don't know.
The thing that got to me at first about Enchantress as a character is that she transforms into being possessed.
Right. She was like an archaeologist.
Right.
She was on a dig.
And she got possessed by like an ancient Mayan ghost or something.
Of an archaeologist is she, where she finds something and she just rips the head right off of it. Like, what archaeologist would do that?
Indiana Jones would be furious. This is not. And also, why is she off on her own as an archaeologist?
Yeah, right?
No archaeologist does that.
No, she like falls down the fucking pit and she's all alone. How she gets out, we don't know.
This movie is full of dumb characters.
Yeah, dumb
very
characters.
dumb people. I think that the biggest problem I had, especially like, there's so much in this movie that just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And it's, I think that there's a part of making a movie that's a superhero movie or a fantasy movie or sci-fi movie where we can get away with having some stuff that's a little bit plot holy and kind of strange because it's comic book logic. It's not real world logic. But you can't have complete, total logical leaps.
Yes.
It can't make no sense. It has to have at least some sort of grounding in at least the world that you're making.
Yeah. Or like when they would introduce new characters, like that guy that comes in that
Slipknot.
That's able to climb things.
Oh yeah, and that's his whole power.
Yeah.
And they literally, his introduction is not even spoken by a character on screen. They clearly added it after the fact. Oh, that's Slipknot, the man who can climb anything.
Yeah. And then they kill him like 8 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Like he comes and he goes. And then there's Katana that shows up. And I think that was just because they were like, oh, we need an Asian character in this movie. You know? And she shows up and it's like, who the hell is she? And how is she related?
This movie feels like the script was punched up by a group of drugged out Hot Topic employees.
Yes.
Who are like, what can we do to sell the most t-shirts? How can we get Daddy's Little Monster shirts off the shelves?
Yeah, really.
It's just from top to bottom bad.
I know. And it was such a big buildup too, because you hear about the cast. I mean, it's an incredible cast. You got Margot Robbie, Will Smith, Jared Leto, and like Viola Davis. And I mean, so it was just like this huge, massive buildup to only just let you down so hard.
I remember watching the trailer for the movie. The first time any trailers dropped, it was the one that they had Bohemian Rhapsody as the song for the trailer. And I was like, oh, this is great. This looks cool. I'm on board. They got pandas with machine guns. There's going to be some crazy shit. This looks fun. This looks great. And then it just tanked.
Oh my gosh.
It tanked with the reviews.
Yeah.
The box office super popular. Got nominated and won an Oscar. It won an Oscar.
Yeah. For like best hair.
Best makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah, best makeup and hairstyling. It's so lame.
It's so bad. Who else did I hate? There's characters
well,
in this
let's
movie.
talk about Jared Leto.
Let's talk about
the Joker.
Let's talk about the fucking Joker.
Oh my god, dude. Like, I just felt like it was so overdone, and like he would do this thing where he would be like I'm like, what are you, a fucking cat, dude?
He's doing
like
some Cardi B sounds.
Yeah. And just that scene where he's like laying around a bunch of knives and like, what the fuck? I don't know.
It's just overkill.
It was so contrived.
It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Why would you, as a character, lay out a bunch of knives and guns in a ring like that? What gives you the time to do that?
And what's it for? What are you doing?
Yeah. It also doesn't make sense, like how. Okay, the first when the Joker breaks out of Arkham Asylum, it starts because he basically makes Harley Quinn fall in love with him, and he's like, I need a machine gun, and she's like, oh, okay,
yeah. She brings him a machine gun.
Then all of a sudden, somehow, full out prison raid where they are busting through walls and shooting everybody in the prison. Everybody got costumes somehow. There's no way the Joker had all of this stuff ready to go. This doesn't make it doesn't make any sense how this happened. If you give him a machine gun, let him just have a machine gun and be fucking up the prison guards with that.
Right.
That's a cool scene. This not a cool scene.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Well, that's the whole thing is that they just throw in these ridiculous action scenes into movies, but it seems to work. Like, people buy into it and they love it somehow. You
Why
know
do you
what
think
I mean?
that is?
I really don't know. I don't know if people just like to see a bunch of shit get blown up or, something like that. But to me, it's absolute crap. But it seems like I just feel like I don't like any of these like action or even like these like comic book movies. I just feel like
you're not a comic book movie person.
Well, like I like it if it has a good script and a good story, but when it's just all like action that's like all CGI and shitty, I can't do it.
What did you expect going into this movie? Did you have much of an expectation?
Well, I just kind of thought, well, if Will Smith is on board, like the script must be good. Like it must be, but then you just realize that it's so out of the hands of like the actors, so much goes into it. And didn't they have to like reshoot the final thing?
This is one of my favorite terrible parts about this movie is that they reshot sequences of the movie to make it funnier.
And you can totally pick out those scenes, and it's usually Will Smith one-liners.
Yeah. A lot of Will Smith one-liners, a lot of Margot Robbie being a crazy lady.
Oh yeah,
stuff,
totally.
Talking about
where she's
how
like
she wants
hitting
to
it
murder
over
everybody.
and over with a bat, and she's like, "What? It flinched." And then how like in half the movie she has like the Brooklyn accent, and then she loses it.
Yep.
It's like so funny.
The reshoots. Here's what happened. So they started filming in August and ended. They started filming in May, ended in August of 2015. Then a year later, after the trailer came out, Warner Brothers was like, "Oh man, well we got to make the movie more funny and goofy because that's what the trailers make it look like." All right, let's go shoot another set. The reshoots cost $22 million.
Oh my god!
$22 million
Do you know how much
to make this movie.
This movie cost in total? Do you know?
You know what? I'm going to look right now.
Okay,
I'm on the Wikipedia page.
I mean, it was, and how much money they must have spent just on the songs. Like they had the Rolling Stones, they had the Animals, they had
Yes.
Black Sabbath,
Yes.
White Stripes,
Yes.
Eminem.
This movie is basically my emo high school playlist.
Yeah.
But also mixed in with like cool classic rock songs.
Definitely.
They had Sympathy for the Devil.
Yes.
They had When the Levee Breaks.
Yeah.
They have all of this music that it seems like you would not be able to afford, and it feels all shoehorned in. Like
Yes.
it does. If there's one word I could use to describe this movie besides awful, it's dissonant. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't connect ever.
It's so
Yeah.
tonally all over the place.
It really is.
So the movie cost $175 million to make. Here's the worst part. Do you know how much money it made? $746 million.
Wow.
Almost $750 million
See?
at the box
but
office.
that just goes to show you, people love shitty movies, dude. People love shitty movies.
I
do.
The saddest part to me about watching this movie is I watched it and thought there is a good movie in here somewhere.
No, totally.
There's totally a
There
good
could
movie.
have been, had they focused on one plot and didn't try to bring in all this stuff, because they clearly were trying to create a spin-off for Harley Quinn and the Joker.
Right.
And they like just tried to go in way too many directions with it. Had they just focused on one plot line and not brought in these other introducing these new characters that went away immediately, like what was the point of all that?
Right.
Like if they just focused on cultivating the stories and the characters and the plot, they could have killed it.
The biggest downside to this movie is that it feels like a really big missed opportunity. And I can get that they're making a sequel to it. And I think the sequel is going to be way better because they have James Gunn. And James Gunn getting fired from doing anything for Marvel is the best thing that could happen to the DC cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Because he seems like the kind of director who could handle this right. David Ayer, the guy who directed and wrote it this time, is somebody who's known for making war movies, and his movie before this was Fury. He's made other movies like End of Watch. He wrote Training Day and The Fast and the Furious. And this is a movie that like it doesn't feel quite like he's equipped to make a movie like this.
Right.
If you got to stay in a lane,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You got to pick serious or funny. You can't try and do both.
Yeah.
You can't. There's all of this it's just it makes
And
me
like,
so
how
upset.
many helicopter crashes were there, dude?
I don't even know how many
like
helicopters went
9,
through in this movie.
and like everyone walks out unscathed every time. I don't understand.
You know what I wish this movie was? If I had to pick anything, I wish it was rated R. I wish they had done a hard R superhero
Yeah.
movie like Deadpool.
Seriously, oh, Deadpool's so good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Deadpool's
Yeah,
great.
It's amazing.
And Deadpool
it's so funny.
figures out the tone that it's going for and also is able to incorporate all of this other action stuff, right?
Yeah.
What Suicide Squad doesn't do is find a way to make that all work because it's clear that everything is shoehorned in.
Yeah.
And even just like I loved Viola Davis.
Yeah, me too.
I thought
She's
she was
always
a great
incredible.
character.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, she's complex. She's the only character in the movie that even though she's still pretty two-dimensional, it feels like she has like a little bit of depth to her. But everything else, it's just there's nothing.
Well, it gives you like
speechless,
no, it
Megan.
gives you
I'm
like nothing.
speechless.
It gives you like nothing to grab onto, you know, and it really that feeling really starts to sink in. I think when you get about an hour into the movie, because I think in the very beginning you're like a little bit excited and it's like kind of funny and quirky and like the Harley Quinn scene is like really fun, but then you get like an hour in and you just realize it's not going anywhere and it's just like ridiculous with the Enchantress and her brother, and then she, you know, who is that guy that she even breathes that she puts her brother's soul into,
just
like
some
just some
dude
random
in
guy
a
in the subway. I mean, like what the fuck, you know? So I think you just kind of after an hour, you just like, wait, what's happening right now?
The thing too. There's in superhero movies, there's always big crazy levels of destruction that happen in cities, right? In this movie, it's almost comical how much the people who are supposed to be the military and government people do not care about the fact that an entire city has been destroyed, killed.
Yeah.
Everybody in the city, they're just shooting people.
Yeah.
And
reckless.
It's so reckless. They have like this giant orb surrounded by all of these cars and whatever. Because they have magnet powers or something. I don't know what their powers are.
No.
She's like, I have to build a machine, but they can't. That doesn't look like anything that's actually a machine. It just looks like some magic bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
just like why use that machine? Like you clearly have superpowers where you're able to do way more than that.
Yeah.
You know? And what is their goal? You know?
Can't tell.
Right?
I can't tell what they're trying to do.
Are they trying to get like the humans to worship them again?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what really bugs me about this movie too?
Everything?
Yes, everything. All the things from even the little plot points of like the reason that Enchantress escapes for the first time in the first place is because Dr. June Moon, the worst archaeologist of all time, talks in her sleep. Dr. June Moon.
Yeah.
She talks in her sleep
Oh,
and
got
says
it.
Enchantress
That's
in her
why.
sleep.
That's right.
And all of a sudden she just vanishes because of that. That's so stupid.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
But the other thing is there's too much romance going on in this movie. There's too many romantic plot lines.
Right.
There's certain movies I don't think you don't need to have a romantic element in every movie.
No, I don't even think there should have been any in this one. Aside from maybe like Harley Quinn and the Joker, you know, that was enough.
Especially because those scenes I actually kind of enjoy. Not fully, it still seems too on the nose.
Right.
Everything is there's no subtlety in this movie. You can make your superhero movies subtle, guys. You can do it.
I know. And with that budget, it's just like, what the fuck? You could have made like an incredible, fun movie where I feel like people would have been like, yeah, like I want to go see the sequel, because I have no desire at this point to see Suicide Squad 2. Who's like signed up for it? Like, is it the same?
I think it's everybody.
Really? I think I heard maybe Jared Leto may not do it.
I mean, I'd be cool with Jared Leto not doing it.
And then are they doing a Harley Quinn spinoff as well?
Yeah, they're doing Birds of Prey. Sorry, it's
Okay.
going to be Gotham City Sirens is what it's called now.
That's going to be the Harley Quinn movie?
Yeah, Harley Quinn.
And I think that one's directed by a woman or something. Yeah.
Being directed by, who it is. Oh, man. I can't find it. Oh geez. Oh, I wish I could find this thing very easily.
You're going to find it.
It's here it is. It's the guys who made this is great. They wrote the Bad News Bears and Bad Santa.
Oh no!
The
What?
Bad Santa team. Yeah, they're great.
They're doing the Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah.
Huh.
The untitled Harley Quinn and the Joker project at this point.
And Jared Leto's going to be in that one, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. There's too many Joker movies going on now.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've got Todd Phillips is making a Joker movie with Joaquin
gosh.
Phoenix. And that's going to be, I hope, fantastic. Because
Yeah.
I love Joaquin
Yeah, me
Phoenix.
too.
But it just seems like... I think that the DC universe there's too much going on.
Yeah.
I think the worst part to come out of all of these superhero movie and comic book movies of the past however many years it's been going on, I guess, is that now the market's oversaturated. Mm-hmm. And you have too many people trying to do too many different things, and superhero movies just can't work like that.
Yeah. And they're trying to tie everything in all together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was like Batman and this, and then does Captain America show up for like 2 seconds? And was that him?
No, that was The Flash.
The Flash.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm just like, what? I could like barely keep up with what the fuck was going on.
It's very strange. And there's the characters in this movie, again, for the most part, very unlikable. And they're villains, so they're supposed to be, I guess, kind of unlikable. I'm cool with an unlikable character in a movie, but
Let's talk about El Diablo. Is that his name?
let's talk about El Diablo. What do you think about El Diablo,
Okay,
Megan?
well, what about first of all, how racist is it when they like go up to him, and he's like in that like cage that's like a little round ball or whatever, and they go up and they're like, all right, put your burritos down, and then he decides like, oh, I'm gonna be a peaceful guy now,
Right.
and he like flashes the word love,
Yep.
so fucking cheesy.
It's
and like,
so cheesy.
And then the whole time while he's out, like I felt like he didn't do anything in the movie until the very end. Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be the big sacrificial lamb kind of character where
Right.
he shows up and all of a sudden he's also secretly a Mayan god or something.
Yeah.
And he's the one who can fight off the enchantress and her brother. It doesn't make any sense.
And he's just some like gangbanging dude,
Yeah.
right?
From the East Siders
yeah,
in Los
right?
Angeles, California.
And like, what's his backstory? That he burned his wife told him that
Yeah, his wife told him that she was going to take the kids.
Yeah.
And he burned the house down.
with the family in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was very angry and he was very sad.
And then he decides while he's in prison that he's gonna be like a peaceful guy. After he
Had that fire in the yard.
had the fire in the yard where he burned up everybody around him. Then he decides he's gonna be this like peaceful guy.
Yeah.
And then they have to coax him out of it to be no, you're gonna be one of the people on the Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad. I wanted to commit suicide after watching this movie. I would join that squad. This movie, it's just so, I mean, can we talk about Captain Boomerang?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how a guy, okay, I don't understand why did he get 3 life sentences for
stealing
stealing diamonds and
diamonds.
killing a guy?
Right?
That's it.
Yeah.
How are boomerangs your superpower?
Yeah,
also?
exactly. And like he was like just getting drunk the whole time.
Just
right?
getting drunk. He shows up. They're like at the very beginning of the movie when they're doing the sort of title cards for everybody, and they're like, his weakness is unicorns, and of course they have to pay that off by giving him a pink unicorn.
Right.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's so clear. It's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, we got more tie-in merch. Great. You can buy Captain Boomerang's dumb unicorn.
Oh, that's so true, huh? And
Yeah.
that one scene where like they fucking incinerate everything, and then he walks over and he finds his little unicorn on the ground and puts it in his jacket.
Puts it
And I'm
right in
just
the
like,
jacket.
I'm like, really? You're gonna waste like a minute of my time watching this movie on that scene?
He could have been. I would much rather have seen him get his head blown off than Slipknot, the man who can climb anything. Why is he in?
The man who can climb anything.
Why is the man who can climb anything in dangerous, like high capacity lockup along with legitimate criminals?
And who
the man
is
who can climb anything?
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I think
Why did they throw him in there?
It seems like he's some sort of Native American.
Yeah.
Which is another. I'm guessing it's probably more casting choices.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But also, that's not a good look if you're gonna blow off the Native American dude's head.
It's like they brought him
5
in
minutes after he shows up.
Yeah. God. Just like, what the fuck?
Who would you say comes out of this movie unscathed, if anybody? Is there a character that you think is the top of the pops. Anybody who makes the movie worthwhile.
Yeah, I think the Will Smith's character, what is it, Killshot? Deadshot. I feel like the only reason why is because he's a great actor, and I felt like he was the only character actually giving me anything real in the scenes. Like, he was the most believable one. You know, he really cared. Like, the scenes with his daughter, like, even though those were cheesy, I felt like I like believed him.
Yeah.
You know, and that he was just the most relatable, and he did make me laugh.
I liked him. He was good. Will Smith is likable. You can't make Will Smith look bad. It takes a really bad time like M. Night Shyamalan to make Will Smith look bad.
Yeah.
But it's just mind-boggling to me. The other thing that I really didn't like about this movie, besides let's talk about the Joker again.
Okay, yeah.
The Joker and Harley Quinn, the most doomed romance there is. Harley Quinn, fine. Margot Robbie does an okay job.
Yeah.
She clearly is trying to bring a lot of really good energy and performance to bad material, and I think she succeeds.
I think so too.
For the most part.
I liked her too. Yeah.
But the Joker, the way that they've chosen to make the Joker in this movie doesn't make sense.
I don't think that they chose to make him. I feel like Jared Leto made some really terrible choices.
See, that's the thing. I think you're right.
I think it's him.
Did you hear about some of the stuff that they did, that he did?
Yeah, he was like sending dead rats to like his co-hosts and
used
condoms. I mean, that's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's like taking method acting to a ridiculous level.
Puts the meth in method acting, just frightening, horrifying levels of commitment.
And I think that he said that he based the character around what's his name? My brain from Dallas Buyers Club.
The guy, his character that he played in Dallas Buyers Club.
No, the main character. I can't think of the actor's name right now.
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, like I think he said that he based like the way that he spoke on Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I'm making that up, but I thought I remembered like reading that or watching something where he said that.
Here we go. All right, I'm looking at some quotes about the way Jared Leto looked at the character. This is from the Wikipedia page with some other quotes thrown in. A psychopathic supervillain and the nemesis of Batman, Leto described his role as nearly Shakespearean and a beautiful disaster of a character.
That's true.
He stated, I took a pretty deep dive. It was a unique opportunity. I couldn't imagine it going the other way. Jared Leto never broke character throughout filming, with Smith going so far as to say he never met Jared Leto. In preparation for the role, Leto spent most of his time alone, listened to gospel music from the 1920s, and he says that he thought the Joker may be much older than people think. He read Tattoo on Shamanism. He spoke with doctors and spent time with psychopaths in preparation for the role.
Oh my God.
And the worst part, the Joker's tattoos. Do you remember seeing the first pictures of the Joker with his tattoos?
No.
I remember seeing those on Twitter a long time ago when the movie was coming out, and it's just the pictures of Jared Leto as the Joker, just like holding his head and doing like some crazy Joker scream, covered in the shittiest tattoos imaginable.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I was like, this is a big mistake.
Oh yeah.
This might actually be a bad movie.
It was really bad, and he was like wearing a bunch of gold chains and like his, just from what he would wear. It was just like everything was so over the top, where I just feel like, I end up comparing everything to like Heath Ledger's, because I just don't think that anybody can beat that Joker.
Because it's hard to top him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that version of the Joker and the versions of Joker in other Batman movies, he's not a person who is living this life of excess, right? He's not a mob boss type of character, He's like a lone wolf. Right.
Yeah.
If you're going to compare him to a mob boss, and I'm saying this as someone who's never seen The Sopranos, but he seems more like a guy like a Tony Soprano, who's kind of like a blue collar dude who has money but doesn't live a flashy life.
Yeah,
he's not your John Gotti or whatever, who's wearing these flashy suits and living this crazy life and driving fucking chrome plated cars with neon underneath. It doesn't make sense.
No,
you're not wearing the gold chains. You don't have the gold canes.
Yeah.
You don't have you're not set up in a gold plated strip club? I don't know what that was.
What was even the point of that scene?
I don't know
just to
what the
show
point of
that
that scene
he's
was.
like super protective over Harley Quinn, and
But also that they're both crazy, I guess.
yeah,
And that he's
they liked
a little into wife swapping, kind of. It's very
and into
strange.
like bottle service,
Yep. Oh, he loves that bottle service. The Joker loves getting some fucking sparklers next to his drink. The Joker is. I feel like Jared Leto doesn't understand what the Joker is supposed to be. I feel like I feel like he thinks the Joker is a douchebag. And the Joker's not Joker's not a bro, man. The
No.
Joker's not some fucking dude who like showed up. He's not like a Wolf of Wall Street.
No, like you should
Stockbroker
walk
type.
away from seeing a scene from the Joker and feel like utterly like creeped out and like scared and like almost like where you like feel like bad for him. But like with this character, it was like couldn't help but laugh at the character. I couldn't help but just feel like it was so fake and like just contrived
Rolling my eyes constantly.
Yeah, and it was just like more about like it's like okay, you got like the crazy makeup and the crazy teeth and the green hair and the flat and the gold necklaces and all that, but it's like what he was just like making ridiculous sounds and like laughing on the floor. Like I was like, this is just so not believable to me.
I think the one most unfortunate thing about this movie is how predictable it was too, besides all the other stuff. Because literally anytime a character died, who I knew they were going to come back. I couldn't imagine a world where the Joker actually died.
Oh, yeah.
Or Viola Davis actually died.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that El Diablo is going to be coming back at some point too.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
This movie is just, how dare you, Megan? How dare you, Megan Holiday? Listen, I know that we've spent a lot of time shit talking this movie. Is there a movie that you would recommend people go see instead? If they want a movie that is a nice, fun, maybe not even a fun time, it can be a sad, emotional time, but as long as it's not a movie that just makes you want to throw this movie into a bonfire.
You mean that's like comparable? That's like on the same level, like superhero? Like
Doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be because
Like-
I know you just had someone on where he didn't like the Dark Knight.
He didn't like The Dark
and
Knight.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
because I loved the Dark Knight.
I did too.
I think that was like such like that movie pulled me right in, and I'm somebody who's like not super into these like comic book movies, and I love that movie. I thought
Dark
that
Knight's
movie was
great.
great. Another great movie that I just saw was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
I did see it, and it was actually really, really good.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, like I'm not going to sit here and say that it was the most excellent film that I've ever seen, especially because I love like biopics and stuff like that. Like I'm a big fan of like the Doors movie with Val Kilmer. Like to me, like I love that one. But Bohemian Rhapsody was like really, really good, and Rami Malek, who played Freddie Mercury, was amazing.
He looks like he does a great
Dude,
job.
kills it. Did you ever watch Mr. Robot?
No, I heard great things.
It's a really good show, especially season 1. And so I've like been on board, with Rami for a long time, and he kills it.
I hear he does. I hear he's getting some Oscar buzz.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think
Because
he
he
could get
really did a good
at
job.
least a nomination. That'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
look, if fucking Suicide Squad can get a nomination for
Dude.
Bohemian Rhapsody
Yeah.
should be able to get at least a few.
Something.
Man. Well, I can't say I appreciate that you made me watch this movie, but I do appreciate you being here today, Megan.
Oh my gosh.
This has been a ton of fun. Where can the listeners find your work? Obviously, they can listen to your shows on K-Rock.
Yeah, you can listen to me on K-Rock. I'm on Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. If you're in the Bay Area, I'm on Alt 1053, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if you want to find me on the World Wide Web, I'm at Megan Holiday on Instagram and Twitter.
And you have a podcast.
I do.
7 Words?
It is. It's called 7 Words with Megan Holiday. I talk to musicians, comedians, actors, mental health experts, anybody that I find interesting, and talk to them about their stories, about how they got to where they are, and just kind of do like a deep dive on life. It's like cut the bullshit. Let's actually just have like a real conversation.
Sweet.
And it's a lot of fun.
Well, go subscribe to that, folks. Megan's great, and her work is good too. So you guys should definitely check that out. You can find me on the internet at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram. JLightComedy.com for show dates. And I can talk about this now since we're wrapped. I just finished writing for the historical roast for Netflix, and that is going to be coming out sometime early next year. We just literally just wrapped on set for last Friday, so a week ago by the time this episode will be out. And it's really, really great, and you should definitely go check it out once it comes out. I will be peppering in more details once we get more release date info. And if you like this show, please listen and subscribe on iTunes and leave a rating. It makes me feel good, and it makes my podcast go higher on the charts and beat out some of these fucking Bachelor recap podcasts.
Show Jay some love. And can I just say that I'm just like super fucking proud of you because, I've been coming to the store and like watching you do your sets, and, it's just been really cool to like watch you grow, and I'm just like really excited for you.
And you're the best.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This has been Blockbusting, everybody. Go see something good for a change.
Yeah, do it.